Welcome to Tai Chi. Everybody ready? Let's warm up. Hands at your waist, turn your neck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Stretch your neck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Turn your shoulders. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Expand your chest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Waist exercise. 1. Keep your arms closer to your ears and stretch them out high. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Airplane. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Touch toe. 1, continue to touch. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Turn your hips. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Be careful. Shift your weight to the left foot. Kick your right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Kick your butt. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Turn your knees. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Heisman, opening up your span, parallel feet, choose the right side, cross and sit on that side, get a good stretch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Cross and shift your weight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Short 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Other way, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, good golden cockerel, good Tai Chi posture, going through your spine, dropping those shoulders, keeping your head erect, thinking about how you're going to rotate on your axle, how you're going to shift your weight, how you're going to counterbalance, and how you're going to get in your spirals. That's a lot, okay? Mind is very active. Here we go, golden cockerel. Last set. Very good. Kicking out. 50-50, feel the ground, shift weight to the left, right hand, right foot coming up, and follow. Eyes, follow hand. Last one. Holding our ball in a T stance. Root down on the back or right foot. Here we go. L stance, bow the legs, bow stance. Sit back, sit down. Pivot, root down, T. L, bow the legs, bow stance. Sit back, sit down. Pivot, ball and T. L and ball, part the wild horse's mane. Sit back, sit down, pivot, ball and T, out and to the side, part the wild horse's mane. Listen carefully. Sit back, sit down. We're going to brush our knee. How do we do that? Set it up correctly. All together. Ear, hand, heel, turn the hips and waist, brush knee. Sit back, sit down, pivot, set it up correctly, multitask to create your magic. Sit back, sit down, pivot, set it up correctly. L stance, bow stance. Power of the hips and waist help your movement. They drive your movement. Are they? Show me how your hips and waist are totally engaged. One more. Root down. Engage the driver. Holding your ball, you're going to ward off. Out and to the side, forearm your opponent and pause. Turn those hips and waist, set up your hands, bring down the bird's tail, contact, turn at the hips and waist, push, separate, roll back, sit down, spiral forward. Other side, twist, shift, T, L, ward off. Set that space. Turn hips and waist to grasp the bird's tail. Turn at the hips and waist. Push out the energy, separate the energy and roll back and sit down. Spiral forward. Twist, T, L, bow stance. Create your spirals. Think through your motion. Center. Substantial, insubstantial. Okay, listen carefully. We're getting into a single whip. How do you do that? 12 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 12 o'clock, T, hook at 3 o'clock, across the face, out, single whip. Okay, single whip. Sit back, twist, cup at 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, cloud hands. Use your hips and waist, 12. 9 o'clock, what happens? Two things. Flip the hands, close the feet. Cup. 3 o'clock, two things happen. 9 o'clock, two things happen. Last rotation, 3 o'clock, two things happen. Use your hips and waist to get to the digits of the clock. Hook, T, across face L, single whip. Half step, sit back, shift the weight, rock the front foot to its toe, lift up the front foot, pat your horse up his mane, cross at the wrist, rotate on the axle to the left heel, gather the energy, center the energy, kick out with your right foot, in, drop gently on your right heel, bonk the guy's ears with your fist. Sit back, twist all the way around, left hand on the outside, left foot coming up, kick out, left, bring it in, serpent in the grass. Hook hand with your right, left hand closer to the chest, left toe in line with the heel. Going down, sitting down, fingers are pointing down, veer to the left, set with the hook turned up now, shift a weight, spiral on your axle, golden cockerel on its left. Toe, spin, hook, look, split, down, halfway, veer to the right, set, swing up as a pendulum, golden cockerel on its right. Extend the knee, heel down, hold your ball, heel out, spin the ball as it goes to the forehead, turn the hips and waist, put that shuttlecock right there. Sit back, sit down, pivot out, hold your ball for better balance, spin the ball, heel comes out to the forehead, turn the hips and waist, shuttles on her right, left. Half step to the back, across the hips and waist. Set up the right hand, point the left toe out, go down. Find that needle, come back up, join it with your second hand, then your foot. Extend that knee, put out the heel, flash arms like a fan. Sit back, twist step. Fist the right hand, push the left hand down. On the toe of the front foot, kick out with your heel to deflect, bring in a parry, and then come out on a bow stance as a punch. Touch or strip the guy off your arm, roll back and sit down, and spiral up and then forward. Closing form, twist, open twist, in twist, embrace the tiger, then shift the weight, rotate your hands, bring the hands closer to you as if to embrace the tiger, Push them away one last time. Separate the energy. Drop the shoulders, flex the knees. Hands go for the ride. Wrap around on your toe, off the ground, toe down, heel down. Okay, moving back, coming forward, Tai Chi walk, and then the 24, okay? Okay, putting it all together, remembering that we're not looking so much for the exactness of the movements, neither are we looking at the sequence, but trying to make our body focus on our principles. Good Tai Chi posture, pivot out with your right heel, walk in that zigzag direction, shift the weight, out on an L stance, bow the legs, shift the energy, set it down flat, bow stance. Sit back, sit down on that imaginary stool, pivot out to the left, zigzag, heel out on an L stance, bow the legs, move the energy, bow stance. Getting ready to hold our ball, sit back, sit down, pivot out, left hand on the bottom, right hand on the top, out on an L, move the energy, split the hands, part the wild horse's mane. Sit back, sit down, pivot to the left zigzag, shift the weight, hold the ball, L stance, split the hands, part the wild horse's mane, final time. Half step forward, hold your ball, oops. Sit back, sit down, one more. Twist out, hold ball, heel, spin the ball, final parting of the wild horse's mane. Half step forward, hold your ball, rotate your ball, watch your right hand go up while your left foot is on its toe, lift up the front, set it down, white crane spreads its wings. Do you look like me? Drop the front foot, tuck the elbow in, chop your body, split it in half towards your dantian, swirl back, look back at your right hand that's higher, setting it up correctly. Lift up the front foot, place it down, brush knee, 1. Sit back, sit down, zigzag to the left, set it up correctly. Ear, hand, heel, turn the hips and waist, brush knee, 2. Sit back, sit down, shift weight, set it up, brush knee, 3, final. Half step forward on your toe, rock the front foot, place it on its toe, set up your hands, play your lute on your heel. Weight on the back, setting us up for our backwards Tai Chi walk. Drop the front foot, center the front or left hand, back hand is higher, you're glancing at it. You're going to lead with your front toe. Lift up, ear, toe, heel. Pivot on the ball of your foot as you meet the both hands in the center. Slide back, push forward as if to repulse a monkey. Center, glance, lead with the toe, all together. Ear, toe, spin, meet, slide. Center, glance, lead with the toe, all together. Weight on the back. Lift, ear, toe, heel. Pivot on the ball of the front foot as you meet the hands in the middle. Repulse the monkey, 3. Center, higher, glance, lead with the toe, lift up, ear, toe, heel. Pivot to the middle, slide. Hold your ball on a T stance. We're going to grasp the bird's tail. We know how to do that. T stance, L stance, ward off. Turn hips and waist, reposition your hands, bring down the bird's tail, turn at the hips and waist to look back. Contact first, turn at the hips and waist, push from the center of the body, separate the hands, separate the energy, and roll back and sit down. Spiral forward. Other side, twist. Ball and T. Bottom hand advances, right foot, right hand, ward off. Turn the hips and waist, grasp the bird's tail. Look back, contact. Turn at the hips and waist, center push out. Separate, roll back, sit down. Spiral up, lunge forward. Twist step, cup at 12. Now down out to the 9 o'clock. 12 o'clock cup. 3 o'clock hook and T. Out and to the side, single whip. Okay, can you do what I'm going to do? I'm going to take my single whip and turn towards the field now, okay? Turn towards the field. So how do you do that? Kept your hands there, left foot forward, right foot on a 45-degree bow stance. We're going to be into cloud hands now, okay? This is a better way to teach or to learn. Sit back, sit down, pivot, cup at 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, hands are ready for cloud hands. Move the hips and waist, 12 o'clock, stem cup, 9 o'clock, two things happen. Flip the hands, close the feet. 12 o'clock, you have a stem and you have a cup. Use your hips and waist, 3 o'clock, flip the hands, open the feet. 12 o'clock, stem cup. 9 o'clock, two things happen. Flip the hands, close the feet. Middle cup. 3 o'clock, flip the hands, open the feet. 9 o'clock, two things happen. Flip the hands, close the feet. That's it for cloud hands. So what are we going to do? Hook the backhand. Left hand comes across the face. Come out with your foot on a L stance, turn the wrist, second single whip. Half step forward, sit back on the back foot as you open the palms and rock the front left foot onto its toe. Lift up the left, pat the horse on his mane. Cross at the wrist, step out to the left with your left heel, gather the energy. Right hand on the outside, right foot coming up. What do? Kick out right. In, drop gently on your right heel and bonk the guy on his ears. You're in a bow stance, so what do we have to do to get out? There's a pattern. Sit back, sit down, pivot all the way around. Left hand on the outside, left foot coming up. Kick out and follow left. In, hook the hand, stretch that toe out, be a serpent. Here we go. Down, veer to the left by pivoting, set it up with the hook hand facing up. Pendulum up, swing up. Give me a golden cockerel. Toe down, spin, left hand hooks, split. Same thing, weight down, spin out to the right, set, and swing up as a golden cockerel standing on its right. Heel comes down, hold your ball. Heel comes out, right hand spins to the forehead, turn the hips and waist, the maiden puts her shuttlecock right there. Sit back, sit down. We're doing the other side, pivot out. Hold your ball, left foot, left hand ready to go. L stance, spin the ball, left hand to the forehead, turn the hips and waist. Maiden puts her shuttlecock right there. We're going to take a half step to the back, okay? We're in a zigzag, we want to get to a straightaway. Half step to the back with your toe of the right. Set up the right hand, go down to the bottom of the C with pointing out that left toe. One hand comes up, join it with the second hand, then your foot, stretch out the knee out the left, put out the heel, flash arms like a fan. We're going to sit back, sit down. We're going to twist. We're going to do an up and down. We're going to swing out with our right heel to deflect, bring that hand into parry, and then punch. Strip the guy off of our body, roll back and sit down, turn the palms outward now to push him out and away. Twist, Open, in, embrace the tiger, right hand on the inside of the cross, move that foot in, rotate the wrists, palms are facing, push the tiger closer to you, push him away, separate the hands. How do we get back home? Listen and do. Drop the shoulders, flex the knees. Gravity takes care of everything. Shift the weight to the right so the heel can come up. Off the ground, toe down, heel down. Closing form. Okay, so I've never really taught 24 movements in 5 weeks and almost every single hour. And whatever, and you folks are all smiling because, yeah, it's very demanding. But now, what you've set up for yourself is that you're familiar with some of the movements, and you know which ones are the real hard ones. But you're hearing my voice to say, set it up, split it, come down, weight down. So there are clues now for you to now try to attempt to refine the movement. So it's a different way of thinking that one, you need to counterbalance. When one hand comes up, the other hand goes down. Two, while you're doing that, you're going to have to spin on that axle. Three, you're going to have to shift your weight. Your head has to be erect. Whatever your top of your body does, the bottom also matches. Those are all the principles. So what I try to do is empower you to learn the principles or the Tai Chi essential elements, and when equipped with that and understand it, you can take any form and do justice to it, okay? So now I think if I were to give you a letter grade, I would say, hey, if he or she can grasp all those principles and show me in their movements, that person would get an A+. Whereas our previous thinking could have been, oh, they need to know 1 through 24 in the exact sequence, and that would give them an A+. But now the thinking has changed. So that's why when you come to our next session, you have the liberty and the option to choose the form that you want to be in. And I might want to clarify that there's nothing wrong with repeating a form 1,000,000 times. Just think about us. If I'm teaching for 12 years, and in the beginning, I only knew the 24, and that's all I taught for many years before Ken comes along and says, hey, I know the 10 now, I can teach it to you, that we offered the 10 form, which is, to us, an easier form because it's smaller in amount of movements. And then recently, the 16. So what I'm trying to say is that no matter what form you take without thinking about the prerequisite, it doesn't matter. So the 10 form can give you just as much benefits, but sometimes you want to grow from it and see the bigger picture and move into a new form, okay? So no longer are we talking about levels, okay? So with that understanding, and if there are no questions, I want to give you an exposure to Yang 16, okay? So what are we gonna do? You've heard that Yang 16 is really the hardest form because we have to think about moving from a foreign side, whereas where we're doing white crane this way, we're now doing white crane this way. But it's good for our mind, it's good for our body to kind of not jerk it around, but to offer it another option, because it is our body and we're supposed to be able to use it to our fullest, right? And even for our mind, and all these people nodding, saying, yeah, we want to do that. All right, yeah. All right, let me think about how we're going to do it while he's talking.
I don't know if it's a change in how we're looking at it I still think there is a value in terms of knowing the different sequences and taking on what you can chew in terms of just knowing the formal movement, whether it be 10 formal movements, whether it be 16, whether it be 24, but know them, know the road map well. That's what it's all about. But once you know a road map, you may decide to go a little faster one part of the road or one slow, not in Tai Chi to go faster, but you develop technique. And the other side of the concept is to adhere to the concepts of Tai Chi, whether it be posture, whether it be moving upper versus lower, whether making sure you're in Tai Chi posture, etc., etc. I think one thing that can help, sometimes if you try to learn 1 to 10, you get balled up with saying, oh, this hand's supposed to be here, and this hand's supposed to be here. And when you first start, it's almost invariable that this one is the one that's always close, most likely to be correct. And the guy that's following behind, he's unemployed for a while. But the idea is that that's when you start to think about mechanics. 1, 2, 3, where's my arm and where's my leg supposed to be, from formal didactic instruction of where it's supposed to be. As opposed to if you take the Tai Chi concept, everything is moving in your body. So if one part is moving, another part is being affected, okay? And sometimes it can help you. You know that if you're going this way, you shouldn't be having your hand go this way or that way. But if you're going this way, some way, whether it's been doing this, or whether it's what's another? Besides, say if we're doing here, this hand should not be standing still. It's being employed. It just happens, the movement, okay? Or when you're like so, when this is coming up, what should this hand be doing? And especially if you're coming up and you're starting to push this forward, almost automatically, some of this stuff's got to come back unless I'm deciding to do this. So it gives you a hint, okay? This comes up. Once you start to turn, even if you say, well, I'm not going to move this, once you start to do this is starting to do this, say, hey, it's time for this thing to come back, okay? Those are some of the hints. And another thing in terms of balance, use the hands. This comes up, use it. This helps you. All this kind of, this, they all get you back to here, okay? From here, and then step forward. And once this starts going forward, boom, you set it up here. The cascade, okay? Oh, and another one. Repulse the monkey. You're here, again, same example. You come here. Once you've decided midline, I either got to go back forward the way I was, or you come this way and you say, okay, hey, I'm going to come back. Hey, I just swing. So you're letting your body work together. Arms and legs are working together, center is working together. Turn. When this is working together, sit down. And that's where you talk about the concepts, not the particular mechanics of the form. It just happens that they both meld, but you're not saying, oh, is this number 1, number 2, number 3?
So just to summarize, when we start to do Tai Chi, it's usually a pattern. The pattern set that if you're in a bow stance, you're going to have to come back and get into a T stance, and L stance, a bow stance. Another way of looking at it is, yes, there's a pattern that goes with the foundation of Tai Chi walk, but also, like Ken said, if you're extended, more than likely you're going to have to bring back the energy to then repeat it or do something else. So there's a pattern. So when you say, oh, here I am now at single whip, what are you going to do? This is a bow stance. The next thing is to sit back, sit down, and then go into cloud hands, something like that. But the more experience you have, the better you can find those common things. Another way to look at it is, if you feel, and we all should feel, the sensation of grounding down, or what gravity or what the ground is feeling like, that is setting off a stimulus to react to it. For instance, this is a simple way of looking at it. Right now I'm 50-50. I feel the weight of my body on both sides. That is that sensation. Once I commence, I start to drill down on the right. It is then setting off a reaction for my other foot to compensate for that no weight and then be a moving foot. So, although it sounds like you can understand it, if you can apply it to all of Tai Chi, whatever you feel, there's a definite sensation, you react to it, okay? And that's what Tai Chi is all about. All right, Yang 16, any questions first? It's really snowballs. Once we start to talk, it stimulates everything that we want to say.
It's on the concept that Tai Chi is a reactive thing. You don't go out, it's not an aggressive martial art. You don't try to say, I'm going to get you. It says, if you come to get me, I may get you. But it's because you are reacting. By the same token, when you carry that a little farther, when you do something with one part of your body, it affects another portion of your body. It's for you to figure out what is happening and put it in the context of Tai Chi concepts and how the forms move. It's feeling your body say, if I, like Lucille's perfect example, the minute you do this leg is almost automatically saying, it's time to come up, okay? That's just a simple example, but throughout Tai Chi, the Tai Chi movements that you do, what you do somehow affects the rest of the body, and that's part of the interest to me in Tai Chi, in that it teaches you how your body moves.
Okay, good. All right, no questions, then let's go on to 16, okay? So what are we saying? Are we going to prove to ourselves that that's something we want to stay away from? No. Change your thinking to say, hey, I have the opportunity to look at the 16 and see what it entails and how it's similar to what I already know, or whatever you want to say about it, okay? But very positive thinking, okay? So now, let's see, we should, let's do it the regular way, and then we'll come forward, okay? And there are going to be times when you're not going to see. Actually, I'm going to switch that around. Let's come forward all the time, okay? Forward for the first time, okay? And we'll start with commencing form, facing the clock, and then you'll see me. So just remember that the three forms that I've taught you or will teach you starts with the same commencing form, ends with the same closing form, okay? The 16 comes from the 24, the 10 comes from the 24, so there should be some overlap. Good Tai Chi posture, commencing form, shift weight to the right, heel comes up of your left, on your toe, lift off the ground, toe, arch, heel, 50-50. Hands rotate to the middle of the thighs. Take a deep breath in as we elevate both hands. Drop your shoulder, flex your knees. Hold your ball, left hand on the bottom, right hand on the top on a T stance. We're going to take an L stance. Out and to the side, bow the legs, split your hands, part the wild horse's mane, 1. Bow stance. Sit back, sit down, pivot out, hold your ball, L stance, rotate the ball, split the hands, bow stance. This is 2 parting of the wild horse's mane. We take a half step with our back foot to our toe as we hold our ball. The bottom hand advances. How does that do it? We spin the ball, we sit back on the back foot, we raise the left hand, we raise our right foot to its toe, we lift off the ground, point it out, and we're a white crane spreading his wings on the other side. Wow. Drop the front foot, tuck the elbow in, bisect your body as if it were going down to your danten. What are we doing? We're going to set it up correctly. Does this look like a familiar movement? We're going to multitask to brush our knee. All together. Ear, hand, heel, turn the hips and waist, brush knee 1. Sit back, sit down. Pivot out with your right heel, set it up correctly, all together, brush knee 2. Sit back, sit down, pivot out. Left hand comes higher, right hand fists. Make a fist with your right. Shift your weight, left hand comes down, right hand comes up, spin out to deflect. Bring it in, parry, and then punch. What does that mean now? Remember, we have to strip the guy off of our body. Roll back and push him down, and push him away. This is going to be a little harder now, okay? But listen and see if your body can do it. You're going to pivot on your back foot, on your heel. Pivot on the back, pivot on the front, hook the back hand, T-step it, left hand closer to your cheek. You're going to step out on an L stance for a single whip. Here we go. Out on an L, move the hand, turn the wrist, single whip. Now we're going to get fancier. You can do it. Half step forward, swirl the right hand. Drop to the heel of the back, opposites occur onto the toe of your front, put it on its heel, play your lute. What happens after you play your lute? You drop your front foot, you open your hand, and you repulse the monkey. Backwards now, okay? Start with your toe, lead with your toe, all together. Toe, ear, toe, heel. Pivot on the ball of the front foot to meet in the center, repulsing of the monkey. Push back, pull forward. Center, glance at the backhand, lead with your toe, lift off the ground, toe, ear, heel, pivot and meet, and slide back, push forward. Now we're going to pivot on our front heel and pirouette on the back. So the difference between a pivot is usually on its heel. A pirouette is usually on its toe. So front foot turns towards the clock on its heel. Firm down and come up on your toe of your right foot. At the same time, your hands want to change. You're going to spin to the right with your right heel. Here we go, and hold your ball. Spin out with your heel, hold your ball. And you're going to, Maiden's going to work on her left. Okay, then I lost you, right? Okay, come back. So good, you all faced the road. You got there, yay. You didn't want to look at me, good. So no, so you can see already that it's going to really make your mind change. And I think just like how we've always said, if we had started Tai Chi earlier, we would be better off or happier, or we missed the boat, so to speak. But you know, it's better late than never. So the thinking there is that if you're ingrained in the 10 form, the 24 form, and here comes the 16 form, because we have it at level 3, because that's how we took those forms in historically, it's harder because you're looking for that same pattern that you have established. But if you're already only on the 10, if you're doing the 10 form and want to jump to the 16, you might find it easier than somebody who's been for years and years never doing the form in another side of your body. Okay, so think about that. So I think, you know, the point is pretty clear. All right? So this time I'm gonna make a little twist to it. I'm gonna ask people if they would like to join me to do the 16, and we'll show you what it's all about. At the same time, you'll see, hey, they're doing it a little bit different, but yet their teacher is the same person, right? So you're gonna watch us do the 16, and these people are willingly gonna come on in front, okay? Cal, Ike, Nathan, and who else? Who am I missing? Donna. Okay, come. Ike, Cal. Am I missing someone else? Anybody else want to join us? You know, you're welcome. This is a open class. So we're going to do the 16 for you. We're going to try to give you a sample of how one person may do something a little bit different, but we're all doing the 16 the best way we know how.
Thank you.